Hi, I'm Alex Leone, and I made this game Upheaval, and today we are going to play through one adventure in Upheaval. So I'm going to start new adventure. Adventures are randomized, so there's random treasure locations, and the enemies do some random things, and you can choose a different goal at the beginning of each adventure. So they're designed to be played over and over again, so you can play lots of different adventures. So I'm going to start the game. I live in Rambledown. You live in Rambledown. The town is awake. You have a pack on your back and you are ready for adventure. This is a random town name. I can check my inventory over here. So I'll click this. I have in my inventory a travel kit, food and supplies to survive in the wild for 5 days, and loose change, just enough to buy a few beers if I want to. So that's what I start with. What am I here to do? So this is the first big decision in the game, is what is your goal? And this sort of determines the first quest that you get in the maybe the arc of the game, depending on whether you stick to this or not. So you can take down the bad guys, stay out of trouble, learn magic spells, free the captives, or explore the world. And I'm going to take down the bad guys. It'll be fun. Great, I'm here to take down the bad guys. The game is saved after every choice, so it auto saves or auto updates your save file. I'm at home in Rambledown. It's morning. A new day has begun. Everyone knows that in 30 days the magician will arrive. What will I do until then? And I can check the time up here. If I hover over it, it says 30 days left, morning. The tavern keeper says, watch out for bandits, and I can ask him for help in the Lame Duck Tavern. So a man runs up to me. Hey, you're looking to take down some bad guys, right? The man says. I saw something out in the Black Forest that might help you. You should go take a look. What do you say? So this is first quest. I can say no thanks, in which case I'm ignoring the first quest, basically. Or I can say tell me more. And so I'm going to click that because I want some more information. Great. All right, he starts. I was out wandering around in the Black Forest last year, a while ago, when I saw this green boulder, bigger than I am. It was somewhere by the creek on the south edge of the Black Forest. So he's giving, this is a thing that he saw and a location. But when I got closer, I saw it was actually covered in moss, not just green. And I was thinking maybe it's the remains of one of those trolls from the old stories. And maybe you could use the troll to somehow take down your bad guys. You get what I'm saying? So he's given us a location. It was somewhere by the creek on the south edge of the Black Forest. And I can check my map over here to see what location that is. So here's my map. This is the world. Here is the Black Forest, which is given a different name for each adventure. And there's this little creek. You can click to zoom in. This little creek along the edge of the Black Forest. So right around there is where he's saying he saw this green boulder. So there are a few ways to get there. We can go down here along this path through the tall grass, or we can go out into the forest and try and make our way down through the forest to the creek. So yeah, so that's that. I will thank him. He says, yeah, remember, it was by the creek on the south edge of the Black Forest. Write it down in your journal so you don't forget. So there's not a there's no automatic quest tracker in Upheaval. Instead, we have a journal. So there are no journal entries right now, but I can use this quill button to add the current entry to the journal. So I click on Add to Quill, and here it is. The entry for day 1 has been added to the journal. Basically, what I was just looking at. And I like to have this guy doesn't actually say what you're looking for on this page, so I like to go back and add this one to the journal, actually, either as well or instead of, because it has the green boulder and the creek on the south edge of the Black Forest. And you can go back and forth through the pages of your journal. So now I've got this information. Go back up here. He walks away. I'll continue. So I'm in Rambledown. This is what it looks like. I have a little bit about how to play. There are 6 chunks to each day, and things take time. And basically, after enough time is taken up, the magician will arrive. So I am trying to get here to the south edge of the forest. So I'm just going to head out of town and go east into the Black Forest. I'm at the start of the gully, so you can see that my location marker has moved into the start of the gully. I could continue into the gully, but I really want to go down here. So what I have to do is go deep into the Black Forest to get there. I'm deep in the Black Forest. It's hard to find my way. So my options for moving out of here are wandering up to the gully or exploring the forest. And exploring the forest will basically get me to hopefully a random location in the forest. And it could be a place that I want to go, or it could be like south, or it could be like this cave, or this, well, the glade would be, I think that's where I want to go actually, because that's in the right direction. But I could find myself up here or at this cave, or just walking in circles. I also have these fireflies here. Fireflies fly all around you like little lanterns. I like fireflies. It takes 1 period to catch them, but that seems fun, so I'm going to catch them. I catch the fireflies and put them in a jar. So beautiful. So now in my inventory, I have fireflies in a jar. They're flying around in there. So beautiful. That's great. All right, continue. So I've been here before, so I can look around if I want. It's just going to say I'm deep in the Black Forest and it's hard to find my way. I can release the fireflies here or explore the forest. So I'm going to explore the forest and try and get down to this creek, which is where the guy said that I would find a green boulder. So I'll explore the forest. I'm even more lost than when I started. And now it's nighttime, time to sleep. You see the forest is darkened, and the timer says night now. So I'm going to make camp here. This seems fine. I make camp and sleep. 1 day of food and supplies has been used up. Everywhere's pretty safe. Well, this place, anyway, deep in the Black Forest is pretty safe at the beginning of the game. I could swear I see faces behind the trees. It's creepy, but I should be okay making camp here. I'm going to explore the forest. After exploring the forest for a while, I find my way to the middle of a gully. So I wandered right back up to the gully. Not exactly where I want to be. The gully goes east and west, or I can just turn around and head back into the forest. So that's what I'm going to do. Go deep into the Black Forest and explore. I'm going to try and find my way south again. After exploring, I find a cave. So I'm over here by the cave. But what I really want to be is south. I see 2 goblin guards arriving, coming from inside the cave. So this is a cool cave. There's goblins in there. If you go in the cave without anything, like I have a jar of fireflies, they're not going to be scared of a jar of fireflies. I'm going to have a bad time if I go in there. You're welcome to try it. I do not want to do that. Ooh, there's a hermit's hut here. The hermit is actually really useful, but I'm going to come back to the hermit because I really want to get to the south edge of the forest. So I'm going to go make note of the fact that the hermit's hut is here. Actually, I'm going to add that to my journal. So I'm at the entrance to a cave. A hermit's hut is way off the beaten track. So I've got all of that in my journal. I'm going to go back into the forest. And it's nighttime again, so I'll make camp. The nice thing, so that the forest is twisty-turny and you have to explore it a lot. But the nice thing is once you've explored it, for the rest of that adventure, you have those routes open to you. So you kind of go in, explore, and then you can just go straight through the forest to where you want to go. So now I can go to the cave anytime I want, and I can go to straight to the middle of the gully rather than wandering up to the gully, which puts me in a random spot on the gully. I'm going to explore the forest. I end up back at the start of the gully, so I'm getting kind of unlucky here. That's all right. I'm going to go back into the forest. I can go to the cave. I'm going to explore. There we go. After exploring, I find my way to a glade. So I ended up finding my way south. The forest really turns you around, you know. A rabbit runs by like the wind and hides. I'm in a beautiful glade. It seems almost magical here. So this is cool. I'm going to lie down and look at the sky because I just spent 2 days exploring the forest, and I think I need a little break. I lie down in the soft, pillowy glass. The stars twinkle merrily in the sky. Oh yeah, it's night. Feeling of calm washes over me. That's very nice. And I'm going to make camp here. Seems extra safe because it's a fancy magic glade. Well, although maybe because it's magic, it's less safe. Who knows? So now I'm in this glade, which is kind of covered up by the star. I want to go down to the edge of the forest, so I can go southward. I can go northward into the forest, which is where I came from, or I can go south. So I'm going to go south. I'm at the south edge of the Black Forest. Ooh, there are wild berries growing here. So there are wild berries somewhere randomly in the forest, and this is where they are. It gives you like an extra ration, basically. You can eat. As long as you eat them within a few days, you can eat them and they won't use up your travel kit, which I only have 2 days left of. So this gives me a third day of food. And I'm by the creek that the journal said I should look for. It was somewhere by the creek on the south edge of the Black Forest. So I'm going to search this area because I know that this guy told me somewhere around here he saw a green boulder, and that will somehow help me with my quest to take down the bad guys. So, all right, after searching, I find a moss-covered boulder. Well, my luck, pretty lucky here. It can take up to like 3 times sometimes to find the thing that you're searching for. 4 times for some of the things are very hidden, so sometimes it can take 4 searches. But this one I found on the first try. I see tiny patches of bright color on the stone under the moss. So there we go. I can sit on the boulder. It's pretty comfortable. It's covered in moss. Moss is pretty comfy to sit on. Or I'm sitting on the boulder already. I can peel the moss off the boulder because there's that bright patches of color underneath. I peel it off. It's a brightly colored map of the entire region around Rambledown. So it's a goblin map with a big red X to mark a spot randomly chosen by the Old South Road where it passes the lake. So here's the town, here's the Old South Road, here's the lake. So where I want to be by the Old South Road, I'm going to add this to my journal. I want to be by the Old South Road where the South Road passes the lake. So here's the South Road. I could be down at the lake. That's not where it's hidden. I know that it's on the road, like along the road somewhere at this point, as opposed to like up here or down here. So I'm just going to head back to town because I need more rations anyway, and then head south out of town and look for it. Cool. So this is some map some goblin has left behind. Berry bushes are picked clean. I'm in the glade. I'm going to make camp here and eat my berries. Delicious. And then go north. I can go straight to the start of the gully because of all my exploring I did, which saves me a lot of time actually. And then it's like potentially a whole day faster. And then go west into Rambledown. People are coming in and out of the tavern. This guy is checking in with me. Hey, did you ever get out to that green boulder I told you about by the creek on the south edge of the Black Forest? So if you forgot where the thing was, he'll tell you again. I'll say, yeah, I got out there. Nice. What was it like? What'd you find? I found a treasure map. I will tell him that. You can not tell them if if you don't trust them or whatever. That's fine. Tell them what you found. Thanks for letting me know. He likes it in Rambledown. It's safer in town. True. It is safer in town. Good luck out there. All right. I have 2 days of food left. I'm going to go to the tavern, get a drink, spend some of your loose change. It's a really strong drink, so I begin to feel pretty drunk. And you can see that that shows up. I can ask at the tavern keekser for advice. I can step outside. People are coming in from the tout square. All the words are messed up, so the alcohol is affecting me. I'm going to step outside and sleep it off. It's a little bit early. Maybe I'll spend a period asking around. I'm going to ask about bad guys to take down. This woman says, well, no one in town likes those bandits. I think they were last seen in the Downs. It's a little risky. So what do I have on me? I have my fireflies. The Downs are basically this whole area down here. So the woman told me that the bandits are in the Downs, so now I know that they're somewhere down here. They could be waiting just outside of town, which I would not prefer. Let me add that to my journal just in case I forget. Okay, now it's nighttime. I'm going to rest and restock. So if you ever find yourself with an hour in town, you can ask around and see if there's useful information. I plan to add, you can just hang out in the tavern, but right now there's none of these take time right now. So working on that. Okay, well, let's try it. Well, you know what I could do? I could release the fireflies here. Let me do that. I'm gonna leave the fireflies in town, and I can always catch them later, just in case the bandits stop me. So I go south into the Downs. Okay, so far so good. I'm in the Downs now, so I went outside of town. The journal entry said that the X marked a spot by the lake, so where the Old South Road passes the lake. So I have to go south one more, because this is not quite close enough to the lake. So this is where the Old South Road passes the burial mounds. Yeah. Oh, there's a group of vultures here. I'll leave them alone. They look at me with interest. I ignore them. I'm going to go south on the road. Tower rises to the west, so I'm right by the lake, but on the Old South Road. So this is where the treasure map was pointing. But the bandits are here. 6 bandits step out and surround me, say, hand over your valuables. I've got food and money. I don't want to run away because I want to be here. I could ignore them, but then they'll tie me up. I could submit to them, or I can attack them with my bare hands. I'm going to submit to them. Guys, you can have my food and I can go hungry for one night. Food and my loose change. I restock my loose change when I go home. So I'll take it. Better head back to Rambledown to restock. I'll come back. Also, if I submit to them, they'll leave me. They won't tie me up, and I can follow them back to their hideout, which is where they would put my stuff if they had taken it. Well, they did take it, so they are going to put my stuff there. But I'm going to let them go because I am in exactly the spot I want to be by the lake. And I'm going to search this area. I find nothing interesting, so that's fine. It usually takes about 3 times. Well, it can take up to 3 times to find this stuff, and sometimes 4 for some very well hidden things. I find nothing interesting. All right. I'm gonna search. I'm gonna search through the night. There it is. After searching along the side of the road for a while, I find a stone slab like a coffin lid, flush with the ground, etched with symbols from a language I don't recognize, and a crude green face painted in one corner. So I know this is the thing from the goblin map on the boulder was pointing to, because it's got this telltale symbol, the crude green face. I mean, I'm gonna take a nap with no food. It's not as restful as going to sleep with food, but I find water with no food and no supplies. I get very little sleep, but I just kind of searched through the night. So I've got this stone slab. I'm going to lift the stone slab and look under it. With great effort, I lift the heavy stone slab to reveal the inside of a stone coffin. The remains of a great warrior lie inside, bones and rusted armor, and also a shining sword still grasped in a bony hand. When I pick up the sword, it glows. It must be enchanted. When I hold it, I feel my strength increase tenfold. Strong sword. I gain the enchanted sword. So now in my inventory, I've got no food, no money, because the bandits took it, but now I've got an enchanted sword. So there you go. And I'm going to add this to my journal just to remember I found the enchanted sword, which is pretty slick. All right, I'm going to hobble home and sleep in a bed and get some food. Go north to Ramble Down. My fireflies are still here, thankfully. Tonight, I'll rest and restock at home. So 7 days in, I've got my enchanted sword. Nice. I'm in Ramble Down. I can go take down some bad guys. So the bandits were here in the downs, on the Old South Road. They went back to their hideout, and I don't know where their hideout is. There's places it could be and places it couldn't be. There are so many places. But I know that they're going to end up somewhere. They're going to stay at their hideout for a few days, and then they're going to end up somewhere along probably one of these roads. So I'm going to visit the tavern and get a drink. I'll get another drink. Get 2 drinks. And I'm going to show off my treasures. I'm going to show off my treasures. Now that I've had some liquid courage, I can show off now my enchanted sword. Everyone's impressed by my enchanted sword. Cute. This is few people here have any weapons, and no one has a weapon so rare and fun. That's funny. Powerful. Yeah. Show off my enchanted sword. Okay. I'm going to step outside. Catch the fireflies again. What can I ask around about? I'll ask about the hermit. Right, the hermit. Oh, the front entrance to the Goblin Cave. Maybe I'll try the... I have the sword, so I can take down the bandits. So maybe I'll try looking on the gully in the forest first, because then I can head over to the hermit. And the hermit has a lot of good things that I can learn from them. I'm going to rest, take an early night, and set off at night. I pack food and supplies and grab loose change. Thank goodness. Okay, leave town. I'm going to go east into the Black Forest. And I'm looking for bandits. No bandits here. Eastward through the gully. So I'm moving east through the gully, sort of northeast. No bandits here. East through the gully. So this is the edge of the gully, the end of it. No bandits here. But I've still got my enchanted sword. I got my fireflies. Those are cool. I could go east further, but it would be foolishly into goblin territory. And you can't really... it's goblin territory. There's a lot of goblins. They outnumber you. It's their territory. You get caught, basically, if you go into goblin territory. So I don't want to do that. Instead, I remember the hermit is here, so I'll head down to the to the hermit. I'm getting tired. It's not night yet. I'll push through a little bit and try and reset my clock just because I like doing that. Also, if I go to the cave, I can knock on the hermit's door and maybe I can sleep inside, which is fun. I knock on the hermit's door. A crazy old woman with gray hair pokes her head out. You, what are you doing here? I'm going to say, can I come inside? Because I'm trying to, uh, I want to sleep inside tonight. Sure, knock yourself out. Mind the beetles. She opens the door and you walk inside. You don't see any beetles. I laugh to myself every time I read that. I wrote it, but I laugh to myself. I like the Beatles line. The floor is dirt. The hermit is here. She ignores you and putters about. I can ask to spend the night, so that's what I'm going to do. She offers me her spare bed. She's rolled out a coarse blanket on the lumpiest part of the floor. I sleep on the floor. One day of food and supplies has been used up, so I use my own supplies. She just sort of rolled out a blanket for me, but it's, I don't know. I'm sleeping inside. All right, so the hermit's great. The hermit has these two things. You can ask the hermit for help or ask what it was like in her day. I can release the fireflies here, but I just have to spend time putting them back in the jar, unless I wanted to leave them here, which I do not. If I ask what it was like in her day, she will give these cryptic stories. Back in my day, that boulder over by the creek on the south edge of the Black Forest wasn't covered in moss. She's got this story about the boulder and this location. This is the boulder that I already know about down here. So, yeah, so this is great. So that boulder has a map that leads to the sword. But if you ask again, she'll give a different clue, or a different story, if you will. Back in my day, that oak tree over in the foothills northwest of the tower wasn't any bigger than your big toe. And she tells a story. So there's a oak tree. I'm going to add this to the journal. Over in the foothills northwest of the tower. So there's the tower. So there's an oak tree somewhere over here, hidden in the, in the rolling hills somewhere. And it's, there's some reputation around the oak tree. It's, yeah. Got some stuff hidden in there, probably. All right, I'm going to ask what it was like in her day again. Back in my day, the stinking fen was a lot smaller. I remember just sitting looking at the obelisk in the north end of the stinking fen. So this is the stinking fen down here. I'm not sure how to make it look more fen-like. If any artists have any ideas, please let me know. People sometimes have trouble finding it, but it's down here in the bottom right corner. The north end of the stinking fen would be up here. So that's where I'd want to go for that. So I'm going to add that to my journal. Great, so now I have two other leads to follow up on. I had the boulder one already, but I've got now an oak tree and an obelisk that I can go look for after I find the bandits. So yeah, I'm going to step outside. Going so soon, she says. I stayed here all night. Right, I'm by the cave over there. So I'm going to go in the forest. I'm looking for the bandits because I've got a sword and I want to take down the bad guys. And the villagers are worried about the bandits. So they could be over here or they could be back down here. So I'm going to go check them out. I'm going to go west. Oh no. All right, so there's like three major factions and they escalate in a different order every time so that the world sort of changes around you in a different way each adventure. So this adventure, apparently the first problem, the first faction that becomes a bigger problem is the bandits. That I hear that a new group of bandits have arrived. So there are two groups of bandits. So I'm more likely to run into bandits, but now to get rid of them, there are two groups. So I'm going to go into the Copper Mountains. Oh shoot, that's fine. I've got plenty of food. I don't need to stop for food. I'll just sleep outside of town. I forgot to restock in town, but I guess I didn't really need it. All right, I'm gonna go up through the pass. I'm looking for bandits. No bandits here. And back down to Ramble Down. All right, south it is, I guess. So the bandits might have shown up after while I was up here, or while I was in the hermit's hut, so they might still be in the forest. But I'm going to go south and check it out. Haha, there we go. All right, suddenly 6 bandits step out of hiding and surround you. Hand over your valuables. Fat chance. So I can do these things again, most of which I'm failure because there are 6 bandits with knives. But I've got this sword, this enchanted sword that I found that increased my strength tenfold. The journal told me. I felt my strength increase tenfold, so I can take down probably a lot of bandits. So I'm going to do that. I fight off the bandits with my sword. They all run screaming for the hills, never to return. You know that they will never bother anywhere around Rambledown again. So the bandits have been fought off. The sword is very powerful. If you find it, it's very good against at least a few of the factions. Let's look for the other group of bandits, because I know there's 2 groups, so they could be further south on this road. Let's go. That would be lucky. That would be convenient. Ooh, maybe they're ambushing me here. Yeah, this is the second group. All right. Suddenly 6 bandits step out of hiding and surround me. They carry knives. Haha. All right. I know the deal. Hand over your valuables. No, thank you. I'm gonna fight off the bandits with my sword. They run screaming for the hills too. Nice. All right. I've got my enchanted sword. I've got the bandits have been fought off. I'll add that to my journal. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back to town. It's night. I'll make camp here. All right, and then go back to town. People are coming in and out of the tavern. When I come into the town, the villagers all greet me in the town square and cheer. I saved them from the bandits. You saved us from the bandits, they cry. We are forever in your debt. And there is a party. So I can either join the party or skip the party. If I skip the party, I can actually go back into the tavern to join it again. So it's a tiny bit deceptive because you can change your mind. But join the party, basically skips time forward and puts you in the party. So the villagers love you. You join the party. It lasts for a long time. Everyone gives you their best food and speeches are given in your honor. It's a party that will be remembered for a long time. I'll add it. I'm adding a lot of things to my journal. I usually keep a much tighter journal, but trying to make sure I capture these important moments for this playthrough. So, all right, continue. I'm exhausted after all night partying. It's the middle of the day. I'm going to rest at home, take an afternoon nap, and I've got my enchanted sword. I've got some leads from the hermit. I can go down to the Stinking Fen and look for the obelisk, or I can go northwest of the tower and look for an oak tree. I'm going to ask around about bad guys to take down, see what the villagers have to say. I said, we've already rid Rambledown of bandits, and we're very grateful. I guess if you wanted to look into the Goblin King situation in the Black Forest, it might turn out to be nothing, but you never know. The Goblin King hasn't become more of a problem this game. If the Goblin King was more of a problem, this would be a more urgent request. But the goblins are the other thing that the other faction that the Enchanted Sword is really good against. It's really good against the bandits, as you saw, and also very good against the goblins. So, all right, it's night. I'm going to rest at home again after a long day partying. I've got 16 days left. Let's pick one. Let's see, fen or tower. The tower, northwest of the tower is closer. So I'm going to head there. I guess I could go take care of the goblins, but I like hunting for stuff. So yeah, the vultures are here. Let's go west across the hills. So this way, the oak tree was northwest of the tower. So right now I am north of the tower. So I'm going to head west to be in the right spot to look for this thing. So let's go west across the hills. Now I'm northwest of the tower, and I can search this area and see how long it takes me to find this this tree. I'm going to search. After searching, lucky. All right. It's all that time being lost in the Black Forest that really helped me out. It's not. It was random. There's no connection between the two. I find an ancient oak tree, knotted and twisted. One of its knots has a dark hole in it, big enough for a hand to reach inside. So it's nighttime. I'm going to sleep before I put my hand in the hole, just on principle, I guess. Look in the hole in the tree. That's what I'm going to do. Inside the hole, I find an old letter on elegant parchment. There's different kinds of parchment you can find. The seal is intact. It seems the letter has a curse on it. Perhaps the tree is helping to contain it. So you don't really want to remove the letter because it has a curse on it. You open the letter. It reads, "Beth, I have found it. All those nights poring over old parchment have finally paid off. I hid it," enigmatic it, "in the usual place, by the old south road where it passes the burial mounds, for you to retrieve after the hearing. Stay here until I'm finished, then bring the box with you. Perhaps we will soon unlock its secret. Your friend Charles." So Charles put this box by the old south road where it passes the burial mound. I put the letter back into the tree. I noticed mysterious symbols carved into the tree's bark. So different things might be up with the tree depending on what this letter says. I'm going to add the letter to my journal so I don't forget where I can look for this box by the old south road where it passes the burial mounds. If I go into the map, that's actually quite close, right here, because these are the burial mounds over here, and this is the old south road. So the old south road where it passes the burial mounds is right there. And if these location descriptions are confusing to you guys, and you're like, well, if you say so, Alex, then let me know. I'm trying to make sure that the locations are described clearly so that everyone can find them. So I'm going to hit continue. It's morning, so should be well rested. I'm just going to go east, and I'm back there, and go east again, and I'm on the old south road where it passes the burial mounds. I keep passing these vultures. They're bugging me. They want an easy meal. They want to see if I'm it. No, thank you. I'm just going to throw a rock at them, see if I can scare them off. I throw a rock at the vultures. I miss, but startled, they all take flight and begin circling in the sky overhead. I guess circling vultures are better than, I don't know. All right, I can search this area by the old south road where it passes the burial mounds. That's where I'm at. I'm going to search this area and look for this box. Wow! Lucky again. Guys, if you don't find something the first time, search again, because it's unlikely to find something the first time this often. I find a parcel and a hidden cache, wrapped in layers upon layers of thick cloth. Unwrapping the parcel at the center, I find a hardwood box, locked with an ornate lock. 3 mysterious symbols have been carved into the top of the box. I have no idea what the symbols mean. I gain mysterious box. So I have enchanted sword and a mysterious box, which is hardwood, has 3 symbols carved into it, and is locked. So if anyone wants to make fan art of this mysterious box, and I don't know what the 3 symbols look like, I'm eager to see what you think they look like. All right, continue. Cool. I have a box. I have a sword. There was another story the hermit told. Here it is. Back in my day, the Stinking Fen. There's an obelisk in the north end of the Stinking Fen. So, Stinking Fen is down here. The Stinking Fen is one of the things the places that's furthest away from town, actually. And all these places look kind of equally far, but the Stinking Fen is a slog to get to and to get through. So, I'm going to make sure I have enough food. I've got 4 days. That's almost the max. I'll probably be fine. So I'm going to go south. Ooh, I see a woman leaving, heading northwest. She's heading northwest, so she went, I think, down to the lake. Yeah, northwest from me would be down the path to the lake. The lake is really close, so I can get there. I can get there almost immediately. Let's go down to the lake. A woman is walking here, passing through. When I get closer, I see that the woman passing through is a ranger. So this is our first encounter with the ranger this adventure. She's wearing dirty traveling clothes. Besides her hunting bow, she doesn't seem to be armed, but she's got space under her ragged old cloaks to hide all manner of things, so who really knows? And when she sees me coming, she sets off, heading back up the path. I could go up the road and chase down the ranger, but you know, she's never seen me before. Maybe she's suspicious. I don't know. I'll leave her be. I'm going to make camp here by this serene lake. I'm on the shores of a serene lake surrounded by intermittent reeds. The rolling hills of the downs protected on all sides. You can kind of see like a little cliff thing around the lake. The moon is bright and I can see its reflection in the still water. I'd love to find a background for a serene lake. This is just using the generic background for these rolling hills. Make camp. The quiet calm of the lake lulls me to sleep. All right. Continue. I could look over the lake, but that takes time. And I've got something to look for. Oh shoot, where was it? In the north end of the Stinking Fen. So that would be up here. So let's go down the road. Oh, I can try to open the box. Let's try to spend some time trying to open the box. Try to open the box. The lid won't budge. I can smash the box against some rocks. Let's try that. I smash the box against some rocks, but they don't even leave a scratch on it. The hardwood finish is still as smooth as it was when you unwrapped it, so not damaging the box at all. It must be protected by magic. I do have an enchanted sword. I'm curious to see what's inside the box, so I'm going to break the box open with my sword. I hit the box hard with my sword. I strike it over and over again. I can't even seem to leave a mark on it, much less break it open. So this is a really hardwood box. It must be protected by strong magic. So, yeah, not opening that anytime soon. All right, so the box didn't open. Let's head down to the fen. I'm going to go up to the road. I see a ranger walking to the north, so if I wanted to chase them down, I could go in that direction. The ranger isn't as filled in now as I'd like them to be. Otherwise, it might be more tempting, honestly. I'm going to go south on the road and then east into the Stinking Fen. You can still follow them around, and they'll tell you some interesting things. It's fun. I like the ranger. I'm in the west end of the Stinking Fen. So I went south on the road and then east into the fen. So this is the west. There's like a northwest, east, and south end of the Stinking Fen. So it's sort of like a diamond. Outside the fen to the west is a road. So I want to go to the north end of the Stinking Fen. And I'm on the west end, so I want to go kind of like northeast. So I'm going to go northeast through the fen. And search here and see where I end up. Wow, all right. After searching among the marshy grass and moss, I find a black stone obelisk as big as I am. And I'm just going to sleep here. Fens are not great places to make camp, by the way, if you're ever in one. Don't recommend it. I wake up damp. 1 day of food and supplies has been used up because the ground is all like wet and icky. All right, a black stone obelisk stands in this area as big as I am, so maybe 5-6 feet tall, somewhere around there. A faint rings through my head. I'm going to touch the obelisk. This can't be a bad idea, right? Nah, that'll be fine. My head rings as I touch the obelisk. Images flood my mind and send me reeling. Place among the burial mounds, a secret hideaway, hand grasping hand, lovers parted. So these visions. Then the visions fade to nothing and I collapse. Darkness takes me. I wake up a while later, head throbbing. So these visions are describing this location among the burial grounds, and then these things, a secret hideaway, hand grasping hand, lovers parted. So I'm going to add that to my journal. Among the burial mounds is probably where these things are that the magic obelisk is showing me. So I'll open the map. These are the burial mounds. We've been passing by them on the road. There's a trail that leads between the burial mounds. I was knocked out for a whole period, so I'm going to stand up. And I can just go north, actually, into the tall grass. It's a little bit, you can get a little lost in the tall grass, but if you sort of keep track, if I go north, I'll be around here, right? So, but the tall grass block your vision, so, but I'm going to try that. That'll be fun. Go north into the tall grass. I'm in the downs. Tall grass and rolling hills lie on every side. It's impossible to see where you are. A misty rain wets my clothes. North, west, east, and south. You're not sure. I mean, if you're just looking at these, there's no way to tell because you can't see where you are. But you can kind of. I went north, so I should be right around here. I'm just going to go west to the road so that I can get my bearings again. I go west, and the map hasn't changed. I'm somewhere in here. All I can see is rolling hills, but I'm pretty sure the road is to the west. So I'm going to go to the west. I stumble out of the tall grass and onto a road. The ranger is here, setting up camp. Nice. She looks up as I approach. Hey, you setting up camp here too? She calls out to me. Yeah, it's night. Can I join you? Sure, plenty of room. Just hope you brought your own food. I've got 2 days of food left, so I'll probably head back to maybe. Well, I'll decide tomorrow. She gestures for me to join her. I set up my camp. The ranger's pack is nearly invisible, covered with mud and other odd bits of nature. What do I want to say? So I can say nothing and go to bed. I can say I think I'll turn in for the night, or I can say one of these two, which strikes up a little conversation with the ranger. I can say, got any interesting stories to tell? Or what do I think life's all about? Interesting stories can sometimes give little bits of information about the world. Right now, I don't know the ranger very well, so it's going to be very sort of vague and vaguely helpful information. What do you think life's all about? It's just a getting to know you question. So I'm going to click that one because I think the ranger's answers for that they amuse me. I think they're fun. Ranger says, okay, so society's made up of people, right? But if all you got is people, then you pretty much haven't got anything. So I say, what does that say about society? And these are randomly generated thoughts not randomly generated, but randomly put together. So I never know what the ranger's going to say. Well, you know what I'm trying to say, the ranger demands. I'm going to grunt non-committally because I don't know about this. Ranger says. She stares absently at some uninteresting part of the ground about 4 paces away. Well, that's about it for me, the ranger says. Night. She slips into the bedroll she's been camouflaging and almost invisible. Goes to sleep. Safe way to sleep when there are you know, bad guys out and about, bandits and goblins and who knows what else. You make camp by the side of the road and sleep. One day of food and supplies has been used up. When you wake up, you see the rangers already moving off, heading east. So I'm going to pack up and head out. All right, this is where the coffin lid is. That's cool. Okay, I have 1 day left, and there's something hidden among the burial mounds. I mean, the burial mounds are really close. If I run out of food, I should just be able to make a beeline for town and pick up more food. It's like it's like two periods away, basically. So, hidden among the burial mounds. Yep, that would be right in the middle here. There's like a field out here that they could be hidden in, but among the burial mounds means right in the middle. So, yeah, we're gonna go. A trail winds to the east between the old burial mounds. The sun is bright overhead, so I'm gonna go east down this trail. I'm on a trail that winds east to west. Each mound is as tall as 2 of me. It feels dark here even in the day. I'm going to search the area. I find a rock. Wow, all right. Really, really lucky this game. I found all of these things on the first try. I find a rock with a little hideaway beneath it. There's just enough room there to sit in it. So I can continue. Crawl into the hideaway and sit. I crawl under the rock and sit down. So there's just like a rock and a little dugout below. I'm inside a little hideaway, dirt floor and rock ceiling. It is damp and warm. There's a small wooden box hidden away in the corner. I can just sit here. It's quiet under here, safe from the area by the burial mounds overhead, a hideaway from everything. Eventually I want to add the ability to like sleep in here because I think that would be cool, but yeah, I tried it and it turned out to be more difficult than I thought it would be. So later, I open the wooden box. Let's check it out. I open the wooden box. Inside is a gold ring, simple and unadorned. It's just my size. There's a hint of magic about it. I gain the magic ring. I'm gonna add that to my journal. That's pretty nifty. Now I've got a lot of items, so there's this next button pops up. I have an enchanted sword, fireflies in a jar, a mysterious box, a magic ring, a travel kit, 1 day left of the travel kit, and loose change. It's on the second page. So, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna leave. I crawl out and enter the area by the burial mounds again. So I am by the burial mounds. I'm gonna head back to town. It is afternoon now, and night in the burial mounds is that's not a good place to be at night. So I'm just gonna head back to town. West, and then we'll walk through the night to go north so I can sleep in my own bed. Ooh, here's the second problem. My friend told me that there are apparently goblins in the Black Forest now, someone tells me. I thought they were just in that cave at the far edge of the forest before. So we saw goblins over here. If you wait long enough, they spread out and take over the whole forest. Well, anyway, I wouldn't go into the Black Forest anymore if I were you. It's not safe. They hurry on their way. Well, I'm going to take a nap at home. I'm going to sleep and figure it out in the morning. All right, I've got 11 days left. So I could take care of the Goblin King. And by take care of, I mean, like confront and kill, which would probably get rid of the goblins out here. Goblins just keep coming through the forest once they start coming, and their territory is off to the east. And they have an unlimited supply of goblins essentially, and they just keep sending more people. But if you get rid of their leader, then they stop coming. So I am going to... Yeah, I've got this mysterious box I can't open. That's okay. I'm going to use my sword because I wanted to... My goal is to take down the bad guys, you know? So I'm going to take down some bad guys. I'm going to go east into the Black Forest, deep into the Black Forest, because I can go... Now that I've explored, I can go deep and then straight to the cave. So I go deep, and now I have these paths open, so I can go to the start, the middle. I actually have almost all the paths open here. Go to the cave, go to the glade. The only path that's not open to me right now is going to the end of the gully, which I don't really care about going to at this point. So I'm going to go to the cave. I see lots of goblin guards passing through here, leaving to go to the west, so I just... Ships in the night. I just missed them. But there are 2 goblin guards with spears left guarding the entrance. So that was the lots of goblin guards was probably the patrol that they're sending into the forest. I could throw a stone to distract the goblins because, you know, to get in. But I have this enchanted sword, and I took out, you know, I took down 6 bandits that way twice. So I'm just gonna go into the cave, you know. I guess I could. It's night. I'm gonna sleep at the hermit's place again. Can I come inside? Mind the beetles. You don't see any beetles. And I'm gonna ask to spend the night. I got 5 days of food. Ask to spend the night. The hermit offers her spare bed. Thank you. I appreciate the thought. Oh, I can ask the hermit about my mysterious box. I forgot about this. The hermit says, I saw a kid turn to stone once. Not a pretty sight over in the... What the hell was it? Over in the north end of the stinking fen. Well, it was raining that day at any rate. Maybe he would know. So the hermit... I will tell you, the hermit does respond to your question. So I asked about the mysterious box. The hermit said there was a kid turned to stone over in the north end of the stinking fen. We were over there already. I believe we found the... I think that's where we found the mysterious box, actually. But this clue is probably for something else. It's random chance that it happened to be in the same place as the box was. I can ask again about the mysterious box. I know a guy once who talked like that. Like the symbols on the box. He's dead now, probably buried too. Nice fella, I think. Maybe he would know what you're talking about. That's great. He's dead, probably buried. This is supposed to be a clue to check out the burial mounds. It's from the hermit, so it's cryptic. There are better people. Other people give better clues about where to look to open this box. But you know, the hermit. We love the hermit. All right, step outside. Going so soon? I see 2 goblin guards arriving. All right, I'm fresh. I'm rested. We're gonna go into the cave. Stop right there. 2 goblin guards point their spears. I'm not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. Put up your hands and come with us. What do I do? I can surrender. I can attack with my bare hands. I can attack with my sword, or I can make a break into the forest because I'm outside the cave. I can just run away. And there's only 2 of them, and they're guarding. You know, their job is to guard the cave, so they'll probably be fine. But I don't want to make a break into the forest. I'm here. I'm going to attack with my sword. Taken by surprise, they're no match for me and my sword. 2 dead goblin guards lie at my feet as I watch the goblin remains sink down into the dirt of the forest floor, disappearing completely. So the goblins just sort of sink into the forest floor. Nice. So now I can go into the cave because there's no goblins here. I'm inside a torch-lit cave. 6 jail cells are built into the rock, 3 on each side. The cave winds east and west. The cave's exit is west. It doesn't smell so foul to the west and the exit. A giant slug left a slime trail on a wall here. You're not sure how long ago. It's a wall covered in slime. A woman is locked inside one of the cells. She's humming softly to herself. And now if we check the map, you'll see that this is the 6 jail cells, 3 up there and 3 down there, and some torches. This is a map of the cave, the Goblin Cave, which will expand and fill in as we explore it. If we want to see the overview map, the area map, then we can click that and we can see where we are. We're inside the cave. Or we can look at the location map of the individual, just the Goblin Cave. So the cave's exit is west. Hit continue. The woman in the cell looks bedraggled, like she's been imprisoned here for a while. Her clothes are dirty and torn. Her face is sunken and hollow, and her eyes are utterly forlorn. This is a broken woman. She sees you, and she regains some hope. Please, let me out, the woman begs you from inside her cell. I must get back to Rambledown to see my Pierre again. He must think that I have abandoned him, that I'm never coming back for him. I cannot bear for him to be so heartbroken. Her face looks truly distraught. So she's got a lover back in town, or whoever Pierre is to her. So I can promise to let her out or ignore her. I don't know if I can promise to let her out, you know? Yeah, I'll promise it anyway. Maybe I just break that promise, I guess. Is that bad? That might be bad. I'm gonna promise to let her out. I think, you know, I can do my best. Yes, thank you, she says. My name is Lydia, and I will be forever in your debt if you can free me from this prison. It smells damp and horrid in here, so I hope Lydia gets out soon. She's humming. So here I am. I came in from the west. I can leave to the east. I could release the fireflies here. You know, good company. I can put on the magic ring. But I've got this sword. I like it. I'm gonna go for the sword approach. Go deeper in. I'm in a torchlit cave corridor. The corridor winds east and west. I actually love this tapestry. And again, I know I wrote it, but I wrote it to entertain myself, you know. Tapestry covers the south wall. It depicts an enormous goblin king leading his armies into battle, carried in a litter. Leading them, you know, being carried by them. So there's the goblins are really helping him lead them into battle. I don't think he's doing much, is what I'm saying. I can hold my breath. If I hold my breath, it just sort of, the game waits a moment, and sometimes goblins arrive. Here I am, and there's the tapestry, and so I can go east is where I haven't been. Now I'm in the midst of a winding network of underground tunnels and passages. Dimly luminescent fungi speckle every surface. The passages branch more times than a spider's web. Giant slug is still here. That's great. Big long trail along the wall, I guess. So here's the passages. Confusing. So these passages basically they work like the forest. I can't get out. I'm trapped in these navigating in these winding passages. Lost. I can't even find my way back here until I try to navigate the tunnels. Once I've navigated the tunnels, I can unlock sort of routes or paths out of here by spending time trying to get out of here. I wander around through the tunnels, lost for a long time, but I end up just as lost as when I started. So, I managed. Ooh, I found the treasure room. I managed to find my way to an enormous cavern filled to the brim with treasure. Filled to the brim with treasures beyond my wildest imaginings. Hard stone surrounds me on every side. I hear goblin footsteps outside the cavern. Maybe they want to meet me and my sword. Let's put on the magic ring just so I'm not... I don't think I've done that yet, actually. I put on the magic ring. I become invisible, clothes, items, and all. Yeah, so I'm invisible with the ring on. You see my statuses include invisible now. So goblins will have a harder time finding me, you know. I'm going to take as much treasure as I can. I gather as much treasure as I can safely carry with me. Gold, jewels, silver, enough to set me up for a life of luxury. If I can get it home safely, I gain so much treasure. Okay. Great. Can I take... I'm going to take more treasure. I already have as much, right, as I can carry, as I can safely carry. Though maybe I'll take this piece instead of that piece. Yeah, that one's much better. I swapped them out. Good, good, good. I can search here. After searching this area of the cave for a while, I find new piles of even more treasure than I had thought was here. So there's just so much treasure here. That's what happens when you search here. It's kind of... Oh, let's check the map. Yeah, so here's the treasure room. Lots and lots of piles of golden treasure. It's a little bit off the beaten track here. It's on this side of the twisting passages. So I'm going to make camp here because it's kind of out of the way. It's not, on a main thoroughfare through the middle of the goblin cave. How many days of food? 3 more days. Okay, that's fine. I hear many goblin footsteps outside the cavern. It's hard to tell whether they're coming towards or away from me upon waking up. So I'm gonna leave the treasure room. I've got my sword. I'll probably be fine. I hear several goblin footsteps echoing through the tunnels. Maybe I should hide. I could. If I had no sword, I would definitely hide. But I can try to navigate, which is what I did. I'm lost for a long time, but I managed to find my way to a torchlit corridor with a door and a large tapestry. So I'm back to where I started. So now I've unlocked this path out of the tunnels back to where I started. I have a path up to the treasure room. There's one more exit down here that I haven't found. I see 4 goblin guards leaving, sort of heading west and through the door, and one goblin guard passing through here, leaving to go to the east. I think he should have stopped. I should look into that. I feel like one of those goblins should have saw me and tried to arrest me or something, but that's fine. Maybe they know that I have a sword. They know it in their soul. I'm just going to go back into the corridor here. Or not the corridor, I'm sorry, the twisting passages. I'm in the corridor. And try and find the Goblin King, because I haven't found him yet. Try to navigate the tunnels. Here we go. Wander around through the tunnels, lost for a long time, but I managed to find my way into the Goblin King's throne room. Nice. I see one Goblin Guard arriving. It's an awkward time to arrive. I'm in the throne room of the Goblin King, an underground hall with carved walls and a facade of finery. There's one exit behind me. At the end of the room is a massive stone throne on which sits an enormously fat goblin, wearing a fine golden crown and carrying a bejeweled scepter. About a dozen goblins with spears surround the throne. Giant slug trail is here still. Oh, I'm invisible. That's why they're not... Oh, that's why the goblins didn't bother me before. I forgot I was invisible. I've got the ring on. I'm going to approach the Goblin King. He's completely unaware of me. I can sneak past all the other goblins to get to him. What do I do? Well, I have a sword. I can attack him with a sword. I go to draw my sword, but I can't. The enchantment on the sword is preventing it from being used as long as I'm wearing the ring. I'll have to take off the ring to use my sword. So the sword is very powerful, but it's not compatible with the magic of the ring. You can't use both together. You have to kind of choose your approach. So I'm going to leave the Goblin King alone for now, sort of, maybe set myself up in front of him and take off the ring. Here we go. Take off the ring. I become visible again. The Goblin King raises his scepter. Guards, he shouts, his flabby voice filling the room. I don't know if I could do a flabby voice. I want to hear one, but I don't know if my voice will cut it. Take this prisoner to the cells. I will not be trifled with in my own home. So I've got some options. Run away is probably the most promising option if you don't want to get caught and you don't have a sword. But I've got a sword, so I'm going to try and use it. Attack with my sword. I defeat the bodyguards and kill the Goblin King. His scepter falls from his hand and breaks on the stone floor, the symbol of his power. Broken. All the goblins scatter. The Goblin King's lair is empty. The Goblin King's scepter is here, broken where he dropped it. It smells damp and horrid in here. Yeah, they all just scatter. So I scared off all the goblins, basically. Here's the map. So here's the throne room, and this is basically the goblin caves. I guess there's a room up there we haven't been in. We should go there. Leave the throne room, navigate to the corridor, go through the door. I open the door and slip inside. So this is where I hadn't been before. It's like this door across from the tapestry. I'm in a goblin storeroom in a cave. Old crates are stacked everywhere. There's a wooden table. Search the area. I search the storeroom. I find nothing but boxes of rancid meat. So I take some, I guess. I gain goblin food. It's gross. I don't recommend eating it. It says gross but sustaining. It's goblin food. You know, you gotta eat something if you're a goblin. Go west. Lydia. Oh, Lydia, have you found a way to free me yet? She asks. I have not. So once the goblins are defeated, there is a key to free Lydia. So in the goblin cave. So I'm going to go deeper in, and you can go through and search each of these areas if you want. Otherwise, if you don't want to know where the goblin key is, you can skip forward, I guess, skip forward a minute or two. But I am going to look for it in the throne room. After you kill the Goblin King, there's stuff in the throne room. So you search the area. First time again. All right. After searching this area of the cave a while, I find a goblin key, well hidden behind the enormous throne. It's an ugly, twisted thing. I gain goblin key. So where's my goblin key? Will unlock any door in the Goblin King's lair. So that's neat. There we go. I'm getting tired. I should sleep soon. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna take a nap on the throne, or like here or something. I'm just gonna. Actually, you know what? Where it'd be fun to take a nap. Let's go to the treasure room and sleep here again. I guess I already slept here. Oh, I ate the goblin food. Gross. It's economic. It's now I have 3 days. I don't know why I ate the goblin food. That's a terrible idea. All right, leave the treasure room. I have the key now. We'll unlock any door in the Goblin King's lair. I'm going to go to the corridor. So I've now gone up there and then out to the corridor, and then I'm going to follow this passage into the jail cell and free Lydia. Lydia is locked inside one of the cells. She's staring at her feet. Unlock Lydia's cell door. I unlock Lydia's cell with my goblin key and let her out. As I use the goblin key, it breaks in the lock, turning to dust. I lose my goblin key. Thank you so much, she says, hugging you. My beloved Pierre will be so happy to see me alive. We are eternally in your debt. I don't know how I can thank you enough. Releasing you and looking around furtively, she slips out of the cave. You hear goblins. That is a bug. Sorry about that. You should not hear goblins yelling. Goblins are all gone. She flees into the Black Forest and makes her way back to Rambledown to be with Pierre again. So there you go. I have plans to expand this storyline, but for now, you just free her. She goes back to town. She is very happy to be with Pierre. I'm going to add that to my journal because that's I don't know, it's a momentous occasion. All right. Let's leave the cave. Bye-bye cave. And it's nighttime. I'm just gonna make camp outside today. The lumpy floor of the. I feel like I can find a better campsite out here. Yeah, my back isn't sore when I wake up. It doesn't have any effect, but it makes my back sore to read it. So okay, Goblin King taken care of. Bandits driven off. Yeah, I've still got this mysterious box. Oh yeah, I had a clue or something I wrote down in my journal from the hermit. I've got an enchanted sword and I've got a magic ring. I've got a lot of treasure. Let's go back to town. So I'm going to wander back to go back to town. Not wander. I'm going to go to the start of the gully because I did my exploring, so I know how to get there. And I'm going to go into Rambledown. It's late. Everyone should be in bed. When I come into town, 2 goblins are tearing up Rambledown, causing havoc everywhere. The villagers are awake and in a panic. It looks like the 2 goblins are grabbing as many valuables as they can find. Silverware, copper pots, coins, whatever they can carry. So I use a little retribution. Windows, walls, and doors are indiscriminately torn apart or rambled down. What do I do about the goblins? So I can do a few things with them. 2 things I could always do with the goblins are let Rambledown deal with them. Just leave them alone. If you wait, I think it's like a week or 2, maybe just 1 week, they will deal with the goblins eventually. It may be more than 8 days. I can't remember. I can take basically a whole day to rally Rambledown together to take down the goblins. Or I have a sword, so I can drive off the goblins with my sword, and I have some treasure, so I can give them one of my treasures. I mean, I'm really, my goal is to take down the bad guys, so I feel like I've got to use this sword. I'm going to do that. Drive off the goblins with my sword. If I wanted to, let's say, do something else first and then drive them off with my sword, I could let Rambledown deal with them, do the other thing that I want to do, and then come back and drive them off later. But it's late, but I'm feeling feisty, so I'm going to drive them off. Taking your enchanted sword in hand, you chase the goblins around Rambledown, protecting the villagers and their possessions until you chase the goblins clear out of town. They gibber to themselves, you'll never see them around here again. All of Rambledown cheers for you, but what could have motivated the goblins to come attack them in Rambledown, they wonder. Whether or not you tell them can be left to your imagination right now. All right, so it's night. The goblins are gone. 2 men patch holes in a roof, reminders of the goblin terror. So there's some damage from the goblins. So I'm gonna rest at home because it's late. I sleep at home in my own bed. Young man sweeps up the town square, clearing away evidence the goblins were ever here. So the villagers will clean up the town for a while. They'll clean up the town for longer if you leave them to deal with the goblins for longer. All right, got 7 days left. I'm going to check in on Lydia and Pierre. This I'd also love to expand. Do some, give you more to do with Lydia and Pierre once you free them. Right now, they just say they're so happy together. Thank you so much, Pierre gushes. I thought I was never going to see Lydia again. Leave to give the lovers some privacy. That's all for there. I'll expand on that later. I can put on the magic ring. I find an out-of-the-way corner to put on the ring so I'm not observed. And now I'm invisible. Certain options go away in town when you're invisible because people can't see you, so you can't ask around. If I visit the tavern, I can steal a drink because no one can see me. I don't really feel like doing that. You can, but I'm going to pay for my drink. I mean, I've got like all this treasure, I could just pay for my drinks. There was something, there was another thing back in the north end of the Stinking Fen. The hermit was telling me, I asked him about the mysterious box. Actually, I could ask the villagers. The villagers may give me some more clear direction. But maybe not, but we can find out. Let's ask around. Here we go. I can ask the villagers about my mysterious box. I'm going to do that. One man tells me, look, looks like it's locked. Maybe you could open it with the right key. I read a story once about a man who had a magic key. That's what I need. He lived somewhere out in the stinking fen. In this story, he's turned to stone, so that's probably what the hermit was talking about, and the key is lost. Actually, I think the story took place somewhere on the north end of the stinking fen. So this seems like the same sort of thing that the hermit was talking about. So I've got 7 days left. Maybe I can investigate that. I'm going to ask around again about the mysterious box. One woman tells me, no idea what that is, but it looks really old. Have you shown it to the old hermit out in the Black Forest? I did, actually. They say she's been alive for over 100 years. That's pretty old. She might know something about it. I don't remember exactly where she lives, but someone in town probably does. And in fact, if you talk to someone in town, they will tell you where the hermit is. But we already know that she is right here, right now. She can be many other places in different adventures, so the hermit won't always be here. But for this adventure, she's by the goblin, just outside the goblin caves. All right, it's night. Poor man. A man with crutches hobbles across the town square, cursing about the goblin attack. But it's late. I'm going to rest and restock at home. Some villagers try to sort out whose possessions are whose after the goblin mayhem. I'm going to let them do that and head out into the stinking fen again. So leave town, go south. Stupid vultures. I'm going to throw a rock at them again. Oh, I hit one. It's random. Either you hit or miss. I hit one of them. Squawking noisily, they all take flight and begin circling the sky above. I always picture it like not a big enough rock to hurt them. Like I'm just trying to, but yeah, if you want to imagine that you hurt the vultures, I guess you can do that. I'm going to continue. So I'm heading down, and then I'm going to take a left, go east into the fen, and head up to the north end like I did last time. So go south. I'm here now. Go south. I'm here, and then I'm going to go east. I see the ranger walking to the southeast, so the ranger's down here. It's nighttime. I'll make camp. I wake up damp in the stinking fen. I hate to read that. Okay, and then I want to go northeast to the north end of I believe, the north end of the stinking fen. Yeah, so northeast. I see the ranger walking to the southeast. This is the Blackstone obelisk. And I already touched the obelisk. You get the same vision every time. You're welcome to touch it again. I'm going to search this area. Hey, first time again. I feel like the computer is listening to me. After searching among the marshy grass and moss, you find a small stone statue just barely hidden by the terrain. It depicts a man clutching a white key to his chest, so this may have been a real person who has turned to stone. It's a shame for them. A dragonfly zips past me. There's a small stone statue here. Depicts a man. I can now take the key from the statue now that I found it. The man is clutching a white key to his chest, so I take the key. I take the key from the statue's hand. The key is old and made of bone. I know this key from stories. It was made with magic and can open any lock. A powerful tool. I gain skeleton key. So let's take a look in my inventory. There we go, skeleton key. This key made from bone can open any lock. Pretty neat. So now I should be able to open the box. See what's inside. I'm gonna go north into the tall grass first, just because I don't like the fen. I don't like the fen. Misty rain wets your clothes. All right, there's the option. So I can, got my mysterious box, hardwood locked, 3 symbols carved into it, and I've got my skeleton key. So I can use those together, unlock the box. I use the skeleton key to unlock the box. The box clicks open. As soon as the box opens, it dissolves into nothing, leaving its contents behind in my hands, an old leather-bound book with the same symbols written on its pages. It looks like it contains magic spells. I can study the book when I rest to learn the spells and master magic. I lose my mysterious box. I gain Book of Spells, which is nifty. There it is, Book of Spells, an old leather book with magic spells I can study. I can study the book when I rest. So basically, in order to study it, I rest. Spells learned, none yet. So if I learn spells, then those will show up in my character sheet. Spells learned. All right, I continue. It's pretty late. I'll make camp here. Early camp and take a look at my spell book. Make camp. I make camp and sleep. 1 day of food and supplies has been used up. When I rest, or before I rest, I study my book of spells. I understand more of its secrets now. So no spells learned yet, but I understand more of its secrets. So basically how the spells work is I rest, I learn some more about a spell, and then next time I will learn a random spell from the book. Let's head back to, oh right, I'm going to do the west to town, and hope I don't think I'm up here because I just came out of the fen. So let's head west until I hit the road and then go back up to town. Woke up a little, it was still night when I woke up. West and west again, I stumble out of the tall grass onto a road. Good with me. Actually, you know, where it's fun to study the book is down by the lake. I don't know, I just like doing that. So I can do it at home. Do I have food for that? Yeah, I can study the book for 3 days down at the lake. I'm protected here from the fierce winds. It's a great study location. Yeah, I'm gonna make camp and study. I make camp. The quiet calm of the lake lulls me to sleep. 1 day of food and supplies has been used up. Before I rest, I study my book of spells. I learn the spell of sleep. So now in the character sheet, spells learned, sleep. So I have 1 spell learned. And I have my book of spells with me. So next time I sleep, I can learn more spells. So that was like, I guess, a mid-afternoon nap. It's hard work studying spells. I'm going to look out over the lake to, you know, calm myself. You look out over the smooth, glassy surface of the lake. Everything's so peaceful and calm here. The moon is reflected in the water in all its silver beauty. It's good to just sit and relax. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful here. Search. Maybe there's something here. I find nothing interesting this time. That's fine. Sometimes there's stuff here. We'll make camp and study my spells again. I understand more of its secrets now, so halfway to learning a second spell. Ooh, oh wait, I forgot about this. I hear an unearthly cry echo across the downs. It seems like it's coming from the burial mound south of town. So this is the third problem. So we had the bandits, which were a problem first. Then the goblins spread into the forest. You can stop the goblins before they spread into the forest, and then they won't spread into the forest. But it's been that kind of adventure. And now the unearthly cry from the burial mound. So that means that the wraith, who we have not met at all this game yet, has become more of a problem. So they, yeah. Let's just learn. It's 3 days left. I don't know what I can do about the wraith. Let's learn some more spells. My food and supplies are gone. I have to go home. I can't keep hanging out by the lake. Before I rest, I study my book of spells. I learn the spell of disenchantment. That's pretty good. So I go up to the road. I'm gonna go home, I guess. Stupid vultures. I'll leave them alone. All right, it's nighttime. Let's rest and restock at home. Magician is almost here. let's find out about the magician. So one thing, the magician is different every adventure. It's randomly, the magician's priorities are randomly determined each adventure. So what happens when they come to town is different each time. So you can always ask about the magician and find out what they're like this time, and it's gonna be different every time. One woman tells you, they say the magician uses local criminals as muscle and a personal army to take over whatever area they're in. They're the easiest for magic to sway. It makes me think, what would the magician have done with those bandits that used to be here? So the magician would have liked the bandits. So driving off the bandits hurt the magician, or made him. He's probably not going to be too happy. So these only show up once. You don't get them again. So I like to add them to the journal, or if I'm trying to do something specific with the magician. Ask about the magician. They say the magician abhors the undead as perversions of the natural order of magic. Magic is for the living. The magician would probably like nothing more than for the spirit that haunts the tower and the downs to be stamped out of existence. So that the spirit that we just heard cry out is now in the tower and the downs. The magician doesn't like them, so that's fine, I guess. Something to know. If you want to know what the magician's reaction is going to be in advance, you can do that. This isn't that much in advance, but it's I've got a few days left, and I don't know what else I can do with it. One man tells you, they say the magician fears nothing more than the goblins. The Goblin King supposedly holds the power to defeat the magician once and for all. I wonder if he would have used it. Supposedly held, I guess. I should change that. Because the Goblin King is no more. So the Goblin King is the magician is afraid of the goblins, or was, So I guess I got rid of his greatest fear. I guess nice for the magician. It's night. I'm gonna go to sleep and study my spell book. All right, before I rest, I study my book of spells. I learn the spell of enchantment. There we go. Spells learned 3 spells. There are 3 spells total. You might learn them in a different order, but these are all the spells: sleep, disenchantment, and enchantment. So enchantment makes things magic, or enchants things. Disenchantment removes magic spells that exist, and sleep puts people to sleep. Yeah, I have some spells. It's the final day. I'm gonna visit the tavern, buy drinks for everyone. It's quiet. I guess it's the morning crew, so maybe a little early to start drinking. But I've got this big hunk of treasure, so I can afford to buy drinks for everyone. I buy drinks for everyone in the tavern. The regulars thank the tavern keeper for the drinks, and then me. It's fine. It doesn't even make a dent in my stash of treasure. I'm gonna buy another round of drinks. Everyone cheers for me. It doesn't even make a dent in the stash of treasure. So now I'm starting to get drunk because these are very strong drinks. I can show off my treasures. I have a lot of treasure. I can show off my boot of spells. That's funny. I'm gonna do that. Everyone's impressed by your boar of spells. No one else can read it. I'm just gonna read it like I'm assuming, like I know it says. No one's sure what they would learn if they did read it. Magic feels so beyond anything they know. So that's my book of spells. I can show off my skeleton key. Everyone's impressed by my skeleton key. One young woman says she read a book about this rare artifact. What a treat it is for her to see this piece of history in person. So each of these showing off things is, right now it's the same every time. I haven't seen many people showing off treasures, or more than once, So it's just one thing for now. I could expand that later. It's low on my priority list, but I could do it. If you want that, comment and ask for it. Magic ring. Oh, I showed off my magic ring. Everyone's impressed by my magic ring. They get a lot less enthusiastic about it when they learn it can turn me invisible. Or have I been sneaking about in town without them noticing? They wonder. I assure the tavern keeper I did not steal your drinks. I promise. You saw me. I did not steal the drinks. I'm going to show off my jar of fireflies because those are cool. Fireflies are so beautiful in the jar. Folks want to know where you found them. In the glade, I think. No, where were they? They were deep in the forest, I think, this time. I don't know. If you remember, you can tell them. I don't think I wrote it down in my journal. All right. I guess I can show off my treasure. People are awed by my piles and piles of incredibly valuable treasure. Only half of them believe me when I tell them where they got it. They can go see for themselves. They're welcome to. There's no goblins there. I think I showed off all my treasures. I showed off my enchanted sword earlier, so never mind. I'm going to buy another round of drinks. I make some new friends. All right, and let's go to sleep. And it's the final day. We'll wait for the magician to arrive. All right, time is up. 30 days have passed, so now the timer goes away. The magician is here. If you check the map, you can see the magician's tent right up there, right just north of town. I sleep at home. I don't find any new spells in the pages of my spellbook. Meanwhile, the magician arrives by the north road, camping just outside of Rambledown in their magic tent. So I would love to have like an encounter where you can go up and meet with the magician face to face in the tent. So that's I'm planning to add that. It's just not added yet. So this is the ending that I have right now. The magician makes a proclamation. Everyone in the area surrounding Rambledown can hear it wherever they are. So wherever you are, you hear this. You hear it from where you are in Rambledown. People of Rambledown, the great upheaval is coming. It has brought magic to every place it has touched so far, and it will be here in Rambledown before long. The upheaval is beyond my power to stop. I have only come to help you prepare for the change that is coming. Those of us who do not adapt will be left behind. So the magician is a harbinger of change. And here's the magician's response to what we did. Disappointed to hear that Rambledown no longer has any bandits nearby. Relieved to hear that the goblins have been driven out. Yeah, they were a threat to his powers, or to their powers. The magician has no gender. Even so, I'm disappointed to hear that the Wraith has grown in power and relocated to the tower in the Downs. So basically, overall, I'm hearing mildly disappointed, the magician is. The magician says with the help of their powerful magics, they'll transform Rambledown and give it a place in the inevitable world of magic. We cannot change what is coming. Anyone who wishes to be a part of this transformation should join them now. To start, they need help expelling the Wraith. What do you do? So you can either join the magician, fight the magician, or ignore the magician. If you join the magician, you help them do whatever it is that they want to do. So they want to expel the Wraith, so you can help them do that, and you and the magician together will probably expel the Wraith. If you fight the magician, you join the other side, right? Because the magician is going to try and drive out the Wraith, so it'd be you and the Wraith versus the magician. So in this case, because it's like one on this side and one on the other side, it's kind of an equal. You might be the deciding factor there, or you can ignore the magician, in which case it just the battle goes on without you. I wonder how I feel about the magician. I mean, I've got a lot of treasure. I can just hole up, I guess. I'm not a big fan of Wraith being in this tower. I mean, I've got all this stuff. I feel like can I get rid of both of them, let's get rid of the Wraith first, and then see what the magician does, because the magician might be all right. So we're going to join the magician against the Wraith. I decide to join the Magician. The Magician is delighted to have my help. They look forward to working together to expel the Wraith. Also a bug from the tower, should be. The Magician offers you whatever resources you need to perform your new job. So I can either accept the Magician's aid, I can use my own weapons, I can ask to learn magic, because I have some magic spells. I can like apprentice with the Magician, or I can offer to get them treasure for the, for the war effort, because I know where to get treasure in the Goblin Caves. All right, I'm gonna use my own weapons. I have a lot of stuff. I've got a sword, a ring, book of spells. I've got 3 spells learned. I can do this. I use my own weapons to do the job. Using my powerful magic items, I make sure that no Wraith ever haunts the area around Rambledown again. That's pretty good. Together with my preparations and the Magician expel the Wraith for good. All right, the Magician expands their operation to make sure everyone in Rambledown cooperates using magic or coercion when necessary. The Copper Mountain Mine is made safe and reopened. So we didn't really explore that in this adventure, but this is the Copper Mountain Mine right here. It was closed down because there was some nameless terror wandering the mines, and it's unsafe to go in there. But here the copper mine is made safe and reopened, and the Magician teaches the villagers how to construct magical devices and charms with the ore from the mine to prepare for the great upheaval that is coming. Everyone in Rambledown works for the Magician, either mining ore or manufacturing magical devices, bringing magic to Rambledown. There's, what do the villagers think about this? That's what I kind of want to ask them. I haven't written that part yet. For now, I see the way that things are going in Rambledown. What do I decide to do about it? So these options change a little bit depending on how the fight went down. The Magician is still around, so I can either turn on the Magician after helping them. I can stay in the wilds outside of Rambledown if I really like the forest or the mountain or something. I can just stay out there, like the ranger wandering around. I can just be a part of the town with all the changes, or I can leave. And leaving Rambledown essentially, there's a broken bridge at the end of here. I don't think we got down here. Essentially means just like take the north road, get out of town, I don't know. I feel like this is maybe enough changes. I'm going to try to fight the Magician off. The town's had we can take it from here. I do my best to fight the Magician. Using my enchanted sword, my magic ring, and my book of spells, I'm eventually able to defeat the Magician once and for all. There you go. Any changes that they were making to Rambledown are halted. Some of them may stick, but with your help, Rambledown can largely be returned to how it was before. Still, who knows what the future might bring. Who says Rambledown can largely be returned to how it was before? Maybe I don't. Maybe maybe I keep some of the changes. That's fine. I've got some treasure. I've got a journal full of pages. All my adventures, I am set. So eventually I'd like to add the ability to archive this story so you can sort of look through your journal and the items you end with and stuff. But that is Upheaval. So you can join the Discord if you want to hang out and chat about the game. You can play again, or you can exit to the main menu, which is what I will do. And then from here, you can load your adventures or start a new adventure. And every adventure is new. Every adventure is random. So things are going to be in different places. Factions are going to be different problems in different orders. So that's the Upheaval adventure. Thank you for watching. You can download the free demo version of Upheaval on itch.io, or you can go to the same page, itch.io, to buy the alpha version for basically half off what the final game will cost. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.